The rain fell hard that evening, splashing on the streets, and making the neon lights of the lonely gas station shimmer and blur. Anna Müller, a small, frail elderly woman, stepped off the bus, her thin coat barely keeping her warm. Her shoes were soaked and her hands shook from the cold. She had just spent hours at the local church sorting donated clothes, earning only enough to buy a loaf of bread. In her pocket, she had her last 10, the only money left until her next pension check. 5 days away, as she walked past the flickering light of the convenience store, she noticed movement near the gas pumps. A man in a bloodied leather jacket struggled beside a motorcycle. His friends loitered nearby, their faces tough and uncertain. Anna's heart pounded, but she felt a pull toward helping him. Before we move forward, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? And don't forget to like and subscribe to Black and Wronged for more heart-touching stories. Let's get started. Anna Müller took a careful step closer, her frail hands trembling in the cold. The man, Carl Schneider, was struggling to sit upright beside his motorcycle. His leather jacket was ripped, and blood stained his knuckles and forehead. Around him, his friends from Iron Shadows loomed, tough faces full of impatience and anger. The scene looked frightening, but Anna's heart did not let fear stop her. She reached into her pocket and pulled out her last 10, the only money she had for her next meal. Without asking any questions, she pressed the bills into Carl's rough hand. Then she hurried inside the convenience store and returned moments later with bottled water, a sandwich, and a few bandages. Carl looked at her, surprised and unsure. His pain was obvious, but so was the gentle courage of this tiny elderly woman. The tension was thick. Would Carl accept her help? Would Anna face danger from the intimidating bikers around them? Or would her kindness be rejected? Anna's small act could change the course of the night. But no one knew what would happen next. Carl Schneider's friends muttered angrily, kicking dirt and complaining about having no gas or food. Their leather jackets and tattoos made them look intimidating, a stark contrast to Anna Müller's frail, elderly figure. Yet Anna didn't step back. Her heart only cared about helping someone in pain. She knelt beside Carl, gently holding his arm. His skin was ice cold and his breathing was heavy. She didn't ask why he was hurt or who he was. She just cleaned the blood from his cheek and helped him drink some water. Carl's eyes softened as he realized that this tiny, elderly woman risked herself just to help him. Around them, the biker gang watched, uncertain. Would she be able to finish helping him without trouble? Could her kindness put her in danger? Would the bikers accept Anna's help, or could her kindness backfire? After helping Carl Schneider, Anna Müller quietly walked back to her small apartment. The rain had soaked her coat, and her shoes squished with every step. She had given her last $10, the only money she had until her next pension check. She was hungry, tired, and cold, yet a small warmth filled her heart. Somehow, helping someone in need felt more important than her own discomfort. Anna thought about Carl struggling beside his motorcycle, the intimidating bikers standing around him, and how she had stepped forward despite her fear. She realized that even a tiny act of kindness could matter more than money or strength. That night, she lit a single candle and watched the rain slide down her window. She whispered a quiet prayer, not for herself, but for Carl, hoping he would be safe and find help. Her action seemed small and invisible in the world, yet it carried the potential to ripple outward in ways she could never imagine. Could one simple act really lead to a life-changing surprise for Anna? The next morning, Anna Müller was woken by a deep rumble in the distance. At first, she thought it was thunder, but the noise grew louder, shaking the windows of her tiny apartment. Curious, she peeked outside and froze. At least 50 motorcycles were parked outside, their engines idling, a long line of bikers stretching down the street. Among them stood Carl Schneider, now cleaned up, his bruises fading, and his eyes warm with gratitude. He held a bouquet of flowers in his hands. The bikers explained that their gas cards had been stolen during a long ride from out of state. Anna's last $10 had helped them survive the night. They had called friends, shared her story, and even raised money to repay her kindness. The quiet, ordinary act she had done seemed so small, yet it had grown into something enormous. Neighbors peeked from windows. Children watched with wide eyes, and Anna's heart raced. Could this be real? Could her little act of compassion really bring such a huge response? What would these 50 bikers do next, and how would it change Anna's life forever? The bikers from Iron Shadows surrounded Anna Müller, smiling warmly. Carl Schneider stepped forward, explaining how her small act had saved them the night. Her last $10 had helped them buy food, rest, and stay safe until they could reach friends. They had spent hours raising $20,000 to help Anna fix her roof, fill her cupboards, and ensure she would never go hungry again. Anna could hardly believe it. Her tiny, ordinary gesture had created a ripple that returned as something enormous. Flowers, money, and supplies were handed to her one by one. Every smile, every word of thanks filled her heart with warmth. The community garden she had abandoned due to her arthritis could now be restored. The flowers she once loved could bloom again. She realized then that kindness is never wasted. A single choice, a single act, can create effects beyond imagination. How will Anna respond to this overwhelming kindness? And what surprises might the bikers still have in store for her? Together, the bikers began rebuilding Anna Müller's small community garden. They brought fresh soil, plants, flowers, and tools. Anna's hands trembled, not from weakness but from gratitude and disbelief. Neighbors watched from their windows. Children ran around watering the flowers, and laughter echoed through the courtyard. The dull, empty space transformed into a colorful, vibrant garden full of life and hope. Carl Schneider handed Anna a leather vest with a small patch on the back that read, "Guardian of the Road." He explained that she was now an honorary member of their biker group, a symbol of courage and compassion. The motorcycles roared gently nearby, blending with the laughter and chatter of the community. Anna realized that her small act of kindness had grown into something larger than she had ever imagined. Would this newfound recognition and connection change Anna's life forever? Or was there one more surprise awaiting her from the bikers? Anna Müller's story spread quickly among the community. People admired her courage and selflessness. She was ordinary in appearance, frail and elderly, yet her actions showed extraordinary moral strength. The children helping in the garden, the neighbors watching in awe, and even the bikers felt inspired by her simple act of kindness. Her life had been quiet and difficult, with little recognition or reward, but that small tenor had changed everything. It reminded everyone that heroism does not require youth, strength, or fame. Ordinary people through small gestures can create enormous impacts. Anna's courage inspired those around her to believe that even tiny acts of compassion can ripple outward, changing the world in ways one cannot always predict. Could Anna's story inspire even more people beyond her street, beyond her town, to believe that kindness always finds its way back? Anna Müller pressed the leather vest to her chest, overwhelmed with emotion. She had never expected such a response. Carl Schneider and the bikers had not only brought $20,000 to help her with her home and garden, but they had also restored hope, joy, and a sense of belonging to her life. The once empty community garden now bloomed with flowers, laughter, and life. Children played, neighbors joined in, and the motorcycles idled nearby like a gentle, proud roar. Anna realized that her simple act of kindness had grown into a movement of gratitude and compassion. The ordinary woman who gave her last 10 had reminded everyone that even small gestures can change lives in unimaginable ways. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Black and Wronged. Comment below, what would you have done if you were in Anna Müller's place? Your words could inspire someone today.